It's undeniable that the case against Hunter Biden was really politically motivated, but I also think it's true that the trial in New York for Trump, that was political as well too. Now, it's that, and in both cases, I think a pardon is appropriate, and I really think collectively, America's confidence in these kinds of institutions have been damaged by these kinds of cases. And we cannot allow these kinds of institutions to be weaponized against our political opponents. I'm talking about the New York trial, and now the Democrats on our side there were some that were gleeful, calling it, like, now he's a convicted felon.
U.S. Senator John Fetterman is taking legal action against The View's Sunny Hostin and the show's producers, sparking a drama that has people glued to their screens. The hoodie-wearing, straight-talking senator from Pennsylvania is stepping into a legal showdown with the queens of daytime TV, and you've probably got one burning question. How did it get to this point? Why is Fetterman trading policy debates for a courtroom battle? And more importantly, why are we all so invested in this messy drama? It all started when Sunny Hostin made some eyebrow-raising comments about Fetterman that hit
I think when they go low, you have to meet that energy and perhaps go even lower, become small like an ant and go to the Earth's crust. And what I will say is, what I will say is, she said that she did not enjoy Trump's 2017 inauguration because there was no diversity, there was no color on that stage. She said there was no reflection of the broader sense of what America looks like, and many people took pictures of her, and she just wasn't in a good mood.
In this
Anyone who's familiar with The View knows it's a bit of a gladiator ring for hot takes, where opinions fly and civility often takes a back seat. But even by their standards, this time, things got way out of
While Democrats work on fixing past mistakes, a lot of Americans are disturbed about the future. Trump is terrorizing migrants by threatening to call on the military to round them up on U.S. soil. He's also imposing tariffs that everybody says could send prices soaring, and threats to punish the media who don't fall in line. Of all of that, Senator, what worries you the most?
Well, I mean, nothing really worries me. Because right now nothing has really happened yet. I mean, Trump now is 6 weeks out before he's even going to be inaugurated. But America signed up for this. It's undeniable. He won the popular vote, and he ran the table, including my state as well too. This is what America decided. So this is definitely going to go in a direction that a lot of Democrats aren't going to agree with that. But I'm going to be a part of that conversation, and there's going to be plenty of people that are going to freak out, or they're going to
position than trying to foster bipartisan cooperation. And it wasn't just a mild critique, it got personal. Hostin painted Fetterman as someone willing to throw his democratic values out the window just for a seat at Trump's table. I'm open to many of the nominees. I thought that's been part of the ongoing dialogue, that I've been happy to meet with all of them, and I think I've met with virtually all of them. And I've been watching the hearings, and now that's an ongoing dialogue. So nothing really has changed. Before we dive in, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any updates on this Hollywood-sized story. Now, here's the background. Fetterman recently visited Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump's infamous Florida estate. But no, he wasn't there for golf tips or a taste of Trump's cheeseburgers. The Democrat senator was attempting to build bridges in a time when political divides feel wider than ever. But Sunny wasn't buying it. She raised serious doubts about his motives, suggesting that Fetterman's trip had more to do with cozying up to the opposition than trying to foster bipartisan cooperation. And it wasn't just a mild critique, it got personal. Hostin painted Fetterman as someone willing to throw his democratic values out the window just for a seat at Trump's.
Well, what about January 6th? That he says, I'm not talking about January 6th.
Yeah.
I mean,
being Fetterman, you're out there trying to revive the lost art of bipartisan dialogue, and suddenly, a talk show host is accusing you of fraternizing with the enemy. That's not just frustrating, it's potentially damaging to his political career. Let's talk about Mar-a-Lago for a second. In today's political climate, that place isn't just a building, it's a symbol. For Trump supporters, it's a mecca. For his critics, it's the Death Star. So when Fetterman decided to walk into that political minefield, he had to know the optics would be tricky. But Fetterman isn't your average Democrat. From his hoodie and suit combo to his blunt, no-nonsense style, he's built his career on authenticity and refusing to play by traditional political rules. His visit wasn't about aligning with Trump. It was about trying to find common ground on issues that mattered to the people of Pennsylvania. Still, stepping foot in Mar-a-Lago in an era where bipartisan efforts often look like betrayal was bound to spark controversy. But Fetterman probably didn't expect it to spiral into a full-blown lawsuit. When Sunny Hostin made her remarks, Fetterman didn't just let it slide. Politicians get criticized all the time. That's part of the job. But Fetterman felt this wasn't just criticism, it was misinformation. He believes Hostin twisted the facts to fit a sensational narrative, damaging his credibility. And he's not wrong to be concerned. In today's media world where headlines move faster than the speed of light, a single comment can shift public perception in a powerful way.
Plans to work with the administration as to how to remedy a lot of the death and destruction that happened in Gaza as well. I know you've spoken about that. There's been a lot of soul searching on the Democratic side, people needing answers on what went wrong. Do you think that is helpful, and do you think there should also be some soul searching on the Republican side who need to analyze why they would nominate a convicted felon who ran on lies, threats of retribution, and concepts of a plan?
This lawsuit isn't just about one senator and one talk show host. It's a microcosm of the bigger issue at play, the blurred lines between politics and media. Today, political discourse is shaped by sound bites, memes, and hot takes. Complex issues are reduced to clickbait, and it's harder than ever to tell the difference between entertainment and journalism. Fetterman's lawsuit forces us to ask tough questions. What responsibility do media personalities have to ensure their commentary is fair and accurate? At what point does criticism cross the line into defamation? And how do we balance freedom of speech with accountability? For Hostin and The View, this case could serve as a wake-up call. The show thrives on controversy, but this lawsuit is a stark reminder that pushing the envelope too far can have consequences. This case even more interesting is Fetterman himself. He's not your typical politician, and that's what makes this drama so compelling. Fetterman has built his brand on being a straight shooter, a guy who calls out hypocrisy, stands by his beliefs, and refuses to play the partisan game. To his supporters, he's a breath of fresh air in a world of spin and doublespeak. To his critics, he's unpredictable and sometimes abrasive. But no matter where you stand, there's no denying that Fetterman is willing to fight for what he believes in. And right now, that's about preserving the integrity of political dialogue. And let's not forget The View itself. The show is famous for dissecting hot-button issues with a blend of passion, humor, and yes, drama. Sunny Hostin in particular is one of the show's most outspoken voices. To her fans, she's fearless and unfiltered. To her critics, she's reckless and inflammatory.
Nothing really worries me, because right now nothing has really happened yet. I mean, Trump now is 6 weeks out before he's even going to be inaugurated. But America signed up for this. It's undeniable. He won the popular vote, and he ran the table, including my state as well. This is what America...
Hostin might argue that her comments were simply a personal opinion based on her interpretation of Fetterman's actions. But Fetterman's lawsuit suggests otherwise. He's not just saying he disagrees, he's saying her comments were factually wrong and harmful. This whole situation taps into a larger cultural moment. We're living in a time where trust in institutions, whether it's government, media, or science, is at an all-time low. People are skeptical, cynical, and quick to assume the worst. And in that context, the way we talk about politics really matters. Fetterman's Mar-a-Lago visit was a bold attempt to bridge the divide in a fractured country, but the fallout from that visit shows just how difficult it is to navigate today's political landscape. So where does this go from here? The lawsuit is still in its early stages, and it's hard to predict how it'll play out. Will it end in a settlement? Will it go to trial? Will it spark a larger conversation about media accountability? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the story isn't just about Fetterman and Hostin, it's about all of us. The way we consume media, engage with politics, and navigate the increasingly blurry lines between opinion and fact. At the end of the day, Fetterman's lawsuit isn't just legal drama, it's a reminder of the stakes in today's political political and media landscape. It challenges us to think critically about the narratives we buy into and the impact those narratives have on public discourse. So what do you think? Is Fetterman a hero for standing up against harmful rhetoric, or is this just another example of political theater? Whatever your take, one thing's clear, this story is far from over. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Peace.